It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Mike, how's that playing out this morning?
Senator, I mean, no, but I mean, it's not about, I know you're supporting by saying booing, but look, here's the deal. Rich Fitzgerald, the county executive, Allegheny County executive, being here, and we don't always live up to that's who we are. We can speak out and be more straightforward. That's why I'll end the gag rule, the global gag rule that prevents money from getting to NGOs. $600 billion worth of loopholes in the law. Union workers, the UAW took incredible cuts in their future. You don't have here in Miami, in Florida. You don't have it here, and that is if you keep an audience and partnerships built on coercion, on non-traditional threats like weaponized corruption. We cannot be a credible voice on the proliferation of nuclear security and on proliferation of nuclear security. We'll look for enforceable commitments. They'll produce emissions, reduce emissions. All these breakthroughs we have with the whole, dealing with the whole. Why they do that? I looked at it anyway. That's what I think my plan. I know what my plan does.
And you heard it in the debate. John McCain, I don't recognize him anymore.
I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Look at my record.
Right.
A pathway for 11 million citizens. If the other guy had voted for well, I don't should get into that. I won't get going. Look. The iron workers, the steel workers.
I remember sometimes when my dad was restless, my mom would say, because our rooms are next to one another, I'd say, the next morning, what's wrong? I said, your dad can't sleep. He's just staring at the ceiling thinking, what happens? How can a person dignity be maintained? I'm looking forward to this, man. You walk behind me in a debate. Come here, man. Would provide for no hidden bills, etc. And I can get it done. I can get it done quickly, and people will be covered. But even I can't do that for another a year between now and November, or actually January. But to be covered. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Vice President, I want to come to you and talk to you about inequality in schools and race. In a conversation about what responsibility do you think that Americans need to take to repair the legacy of slavery in our country?
Well, they have to deal with look, there is institutional segregation in this country. And from the time I got involved, I started dealing with that. Redlining, banks, making sure that we are in a position where, look, give every single teacher a raise to the equal raise of getting out the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring in to help the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. It's crazy. The teachers are and I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. To help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, or a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there. There's so much we...
Why attack Sanders?
Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. He apologized for saying that I was corrupt. He didn't say anything about whether or not I was telling the truth about Social Security.
Thank you, guys. We gotta do it.
I found that the secretary, we sat together in many meetings. But President Trump and the demagogues around the world. And she never yields. She does not break. She stands up. We choose truth over facts. I support the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, just like right now, if you yell fire, that's not free speech. From the very beginning, I have a shotgun, I have a 20 gauge, a 12 gauge, my son's hunt. Guess what? You're not allowed to own any weapons. I'm not taking your gun away at all. You need 100 rounds.
When you were with Beto and you said you're going to take our guns.
I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that. It's a viral video like the other ones they're putting out there. They're saying they're lying.
Your voice, you said that you're taking the guns.
Oh, he just clarified it.
Wait. Take your AR-14s and what?
Okay, this is not okay.
Hold on. Hey, let's
There's
a lot of guys wanted.
I'm not working.
Thanks so much.
Give me a break.
Don't be such a
You're
worry.
pushing up on me.
Hey, there's a lot of
Hey. Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Are you able to own a machine gun? I said, are you able to own one? Under the law.
Machine guns are illegal.
That's right. So AR-15's illegal.
How was that in a machine gun?
No, it's not.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah, do you need 100 rounds? Do you need 100 rounds?
In America with handguns, and there are what you call assault rifles. Why are you advocating for assault rifles when people are buying a handgun?
President my friend from Vermont thinks that.
And you can't just now come out with a plan to put out that fire. We have got to have far more bold action on criminal justice reform, like having true marijuana justice, which means that we legalize it on a federal level and reinvest the profits in communities that have been disproportionately targeted by marijuana enforcement.
Vice President Biden, I want to give you a chance to respond.
The fact is that the bills that the future president here, that's. Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? And I want to speak directly to Democrats here in Texas.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back to back. Anyway.
No, it's
I don't
okay.
know how you do it early in the morning, too.
Safe travels on the campaign trail. Thank you, sir.
And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And we invested significantly in this city, in transportation, anyway, the point is we've made significant investments in this state. I expect in this city. To say that LGBTQ people have no civil rights. I keep my recommendation in private. Unlike you, I expect you would go ahead and say whatever was said privately. I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
On the coronavirus, campaign are arguing over this exchange this morning with the voter about guns. Are you aggressive about how you handled it?
Well, I'm surprised that Sanders is joining Trump. I think it's surprising.
Any predictions for tonight, sir?
We're at an American, though, especially a union voter.
I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot. The price for whatever the drug costs are. Avoid having an excuse to walk by the dealer and say, no, I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom. You ever heard a president of the United States talk about law enforcement like he does today? I oversaw, as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee a long time, the FBI. Look what he talks about. By strengthening. We have to start rewarding work, not just wealth. We provide efficiency for appliances. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. I want to thank Rich Fitzgerald, the county executive, Allegheny County executive, for being here. And I just spoke at Dartmouth on health care at the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the, I want to be clear, I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. You should challenge these students. We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. I really mean it, but think how we think about it.